ቤንሻንጉል ጉሙዝ ሪጂናል ኤጁኬሽን ቢሮ ፕሬዘንትስ ኤጁኬሽናል ቴሌቪዥን ፕሮግራም።
Hello students, how are you? I hope you are fine. Today we are learn about soil and plant. Students, before going to today's lesson, what we are learning out so far, in the last section, we are deals about the use of plant. What importance does have plants? What is plant? Plant is one of living thing. Plant have reproductive organ. Plants are essential for our life, and also we are deals about the importance of plants. What those are? Plants are used for as a food source, as a shelter, for clothes, and so on. Now, today we are deals about soil and plant. What is the purpose of soil for plants? Student, let us go to our today lesson. Are you ready? Student, you should take one paper, pencil, pen, and also your textbook. Thank you. Now, today we are still deals about simply soil and plant. What does mean soil? What does mean plant? Here is the objective. What is the objective for our lesson? At the end of this section, the student will explain the importance of soil to plant. What's important are there, and also define soil depletion as the warning out of minerals from the soil. And again, state the cause of soil depletion. And also explain the methods of prevention of soil depletion. Those are lesson objectives for today. A student, let us go to activity. I prefer this activity for discuss in your home or within your partner, sisters, brothers, and also your friend. Look, activity 4.1, what is soil? And again, what are the importance of soil for the plants? The third one, what is the soil depletion and how could it be prevented? Those are the activity you should try. Good. Are you discussed? What comes in your mind? So, the importance of soil to plant. What importance do have the soil to plant? What does mean soil, first of all? Soil is a broken rock and decomposed plants and animal remains that are acted by heat, cold, rain, and wind for long time. And also, soil is a storehouse that can keep necessary things for plants' growth. Soil is very essential and important for growth of plant. If there is no soil, the plant doesn't exist or plant never grow. So soil is very, very important for the growth of plant. And also, plants are need air, water, and also minerals for growth. To growth of plant, water is essential. Minerals are also essential. We get those waters and also minerals in the soil. So soil is very, very, very important for growth of plant. So soil is consist of, there are many components when we get in the soil. So soil consists of one, inorganic material or mineral. Those inorganic material or minerals are found in the soil. And also humus. There are so many humus. Those humus are also found in the soil. And also soil is consists of water. And again, soil consists of air and living organisms like bacteria and earthworm. In addition to that, the soil provides the attachment for roots, or simply it supports the plants. So soil is very, very important for growth of plants. And also, soil is simply used for growth plants by giving those things, what I mentioned. So, different types of plants require different soil types. The main types of soils are 1. Sandy, 2. Clay, 3. Loam soil. Then the best types of soil for plant growth or agriculture is loam soil, 20% clay, 40% sand, and 40% what you call silt. However, different kinds of crops grow on different types of soil. For example, teff can grow on heavy loam soil, while the wheat suitable grows on clay loam soil. So teff is grow in case of heavy loam soil, but wheat simply grows on clay loam soil. This is simply different crops need different types of soil. Let us see in the given table below. Look, the main types of soil, what we are seeing here. Here is sandy soil. The sandy soil is simply growth of a sand is coarse and the soil is loose. And again, sandy soil retains little water. And also, sandy water filter quickly through. When you see here the clay particles are fine and cleaning together. And also, clay retains a lot of water. Clay, water filters very slowly through a clay. The loam types of soil is also, the soil is freely loose, retains better than sand, but not as well as clay. And finally, water does not filter too quickly or too slow. So this is simply the three types of soils have their own properties. Due to this reason, we are simply use which one is favorable for crops, for agriculture. By selecting, we are use our agriculture purpose. What we are seeing again in this lesson, soil depletion. What mean by soil depletion? What is the case for soil depletion? How we can prevent this one again? Now, what does mean soil depletion? A student, I think you are familiar with depletion. Depletion soil is a soil without or with a little mineral in it. When the soil have no any mineral, as well as when the soil have a little mineral, at that time we say the soil is the soil depletion. If there is a little mineral or if there is no mineral, at that time we say the soil depletion is occur. Now, usually soils of arid or a semi-arid, like desert or polar regions, do not contain or have a little amount of minerals. Desert areas, there is no minerals. Those areas does not used for agriculture purpose. Why? Because there is no access or sufficient of minerals. Due to this reason, desert area is not for our agriculture purpose. Now, what cause of soil depletion? What are those causes? 1. Soil erosion. What mean by soil erosion? Soil erosion is the removal of parts of the soil or the whole soil by the actions of wind or water. When the external parts of the soil is removed by the water as well as the wind, at that time we say soil erosion. When soil erosion remove the mineral parts of the soil, it is simply impossible to agriculture. So it is one cause for soil depletion. And also, it is a natural process. Now, soil erosion is basically a natural process. When water and winds are a natural process, in this case, the water should be removed or the wind remove the mineral parts or the soil were loose or minerals. So what you call soil depletion is occur. But it can be increased by the activity of animals and humans. Yes, this is a natural, what you call water erosion and winds are simply a natural. We can increase those activity by cutting of tree, by overgrazing and whatever. So human activity and what you call animal activities can be increased soil erosion. Now, the major causes of soil erosions are 1. Deforestation. What mean by deforestation? 2. Overgrazing. Steppe topography, high water and wind. Those are a factor which affect the soil erosion. So how deforestation is affect overgrazing and also steppe topography and high water, we will see each and individual in this lesson again. Now, look, deforestation. A student, in your home, I think you are firewood. Where you get this firewood? How you gonna get firewood again? Now, deforestation is simply, it is a cultivation, fuel woods, gathering, and also the need of timbers, lands to be further deforestation. Deforestation is simply the cutting down of the tree. When you are cutting down of the tree, deforestation should be occur. It is a one factor for soil erosion again. And again, this activity exposes the soil to sun and rain. More of rapid runoff rainwater result in the soil erosion. This can be removed the topsoil and leave around unstable for growing a crop. If there is erosion, the erosion is simply remove the mineral parts of the soil. It is, I think, impossible to grow the crops. So deforestation is very dangerous for soil erosion. The second one, overgrazing. What does mean overgrazing? Overgrazing is simply if herds of cattle are grazing for a long period on one area of land, and then they eat most of the vegetation. This exposes the soil. And again, their feet compress the earth, forming a hard surface layer which will not allow water to soak through. Meaning, if you are simply gathering in one area cattle, they are eating a lot of vegetable. When they are eating a lot of vegetable, they are removing those vegetable. Water doesn't hold in this area. So it is one factor for what we call soil depletion. The third one is steppe topography. Steppe topography is simply, it is a slope increase the speed of running of water or field which is increase rate of erosion. If there is simply a slope, the flow of water will become to increase. And also, in this case, our mineral parts or the external parts of the soil, or what we call the earth's surface, will become to remove. Why? Because there is steep or a slope. The water is fast and they are remove the external or the mineral parts of the soil. So steep topography is one factor which affecting soil depletion again. The fourth one, high water and wind. High water and winds have its own factor for soil depletion. Now, the removals of a fertile topsoil by heavy rain and wind, so erosion exposes the subsoil which is less fertile than to soil and change the land less suitable for plant growth. Yes. What mean? When there is a high flow of water and winds, they are remove the mineral parts of the soil. So when we are remove the mineral parts of the soil depletion is occur. So it is one factor which affect the soil depletion. Now, look, here is simply what we are observe here. If there is high slope, the water should be removed, or the wind should be removed, the mineral parts of what we call the soil, so they are hard to simply to grow of the crop. So it is one factor which affecting what we call soil depletion. So, students, I think we are deals about the depletion. How we can prevent? Preventions of what we call soil depletion. How we can prevent? Can you think this one? Good. Therefore, the soil of an area should be properly handled. When you say prevention, handling of soil simply. When we are properly handling the soil, we are prevent the depletions of soil. What methods we are use? What are the ways? Look, here is the methods of preventing of soil depletions. Those are like contour ploughing. What does mean contour ploughing? Contour ploughing is a ploughing back and forth across the slope of land rather than up and down. Look, there is a figure. Contour ploughing is very, very important to protect or to prevent the soil depletion. Students, have you seen here? When this is what we call the way of simply ploughing in back and forth. If you are ploughing up and down, you are increasing the erosion. So the erosion become to increase, the fertile parts of the earth will become to remove. So ploughing, using ploughing in such a way, or contour ploughing, is essential for protect our soil depletion. This is a good example. They are simply ploughing in such a way, back and forth, but they never be used or what we call ploughing up and down. Why? Because we are, when you use up and down, we are increasing the removal of what we call the mineral parts of the soil. So it is one method which is used to prevent the soil depletion. Good. The other one, mulching. What do you mean by mulching? Mulching is involves covering the soil with materials such as leaves, straw, grass cutting, and also definite per arranged order. Yes. When we are covering the surface by leaves or grasses, we are simply protect the soil depletion, or we are simply what we call minimize the removals of the mineral parts of the soil. So it is one of the way which is used to prevent the soil depletion. Fourth one, tracing. What do you mean by tracing? Tracing on hillside to prevent water erosion. The safe way to protect soil is not exposed it to wind or rain. This is a very interesting way or application to prevent the soil depletion. And again, this application is a matter of depend on local condition. Is it a step normally for used for agricultural purpose? Is it erosion area or not? You should be check those one to tracing. So depending on the condition, we can use tracing. So availability of a farm implement and labor organizations of local communities and others are used such kinds of prevention methods. Here is example again. They are used tracing again. By tracing, we are prevent those minerals as well as the soils for agriculture. It is tracing. It's also traced. It's also traced. This is a way application or interesting application to prevent a soil depletion. So when we are use again trace, we are simply increasing our soil fertility, or we are used for agricultural crops. So tracing is one method which is used to simply prevention soil depletion again. Now, before we end our lesson, what we are learning in this section? Students, I think we are learning about soil and plant. And also, what is the purpose of soil to plant? Plants doesn't live or exist without soil. Soil is very necessary minerals. We get minerals from the soil. So again, we are learning in this section what is simply soil depletion. Soil depletion is the removal of soil by in case of so many factors like deforestation, like overgrazing. And also we are deals about the preventions of soil depletion. Soil depletion is prevented by what you call contour flushing, by tracing, and so on. This is all about for today's section. A student, until next time, see you.